What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind, sports talk. All right, check it out, man. We talking Efe Ajagba. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. All right, guys, going to be a quick live. I will come back later today. We're going to do a weekend wrap up, talk about all the fights, talk about the scope of boxing, what's going on. Y'all know there's a lot to talk about, but for right now, I just want to talk about Efe Ajagba facing adversity and getting knocked down in this fight he was just in against Iago Kiladze. So, Efe Ajagba's what's up there, Aiden? Appreciate you coming through. So Efe Ajagba, this is gonna be just a quick live, Aiden. But anyhow, Efe Ajagba faced adversity in this fight. A lot of these young prospects, the fans, we see them, do remarkable things, knock guys down, and sometimes as fans, as sports fans, we get a little overzealous, and we desire to push these guys a little further ahead than they're actually ready to go. But Efe Ajagba showed that there's a reason that these guys are called prospects. Efe Ajagba is a great young fighter. Don't get me wrong, like he's got a lot of potential, but there's some things we have to remember about Efe Ajagba. First off, this guy, he came from soccer. I think he had probably, I don't know, 15, 20 amateur fights. It's not like Tank Davis or Errol Spence or Teofimo Lopez. These guys had hundreds of amateur fights, and they prepared themselves, over 100 at least. And, they prepared themselves. They went to the Olympics, to national championship, Golden Gloves competition. They've been fighting since their early teens. Efe Ajagba started this journey late, such as a Joe Joyce or Deontay Wilder. He didn't start this from childhood. And so with these young fighters, we have to understand that they're called prospects for a reason. They still have improvements to make. And Iago Kiladze is not, a huge, one of these great fighters. Justin, what's up with you, bro? He's a mediocre fighter at best. He's been stopped. As a matter of fact, he's been stopped by many other prospects as well. Smash the like button when y'all come and support DJF. I appreciate your advice. So what we have to understand about these prospects, and this was actually shown in this Efe Ajagba fight. Listen, guys, this is why they're called prospects. They have a lot of learning to do. You understand? We can't expect to see these guys go from 0 to 60, boom, just like that. Efe Ajagba has 12 fights. That's it, 12 professional fights and very minimal amateur pedigree. Like I said, 15 to 20 fights amateur. So when you add his whole amateur career and his professional career, you're talking about anywhere from 27 to 32 fights. You look at Deontay Wilder, who has 42 fights, he's still not good fundamentally. You can actually attest that to a lot of other boxers. Look at Jamel Charlo and the way he fought last night. He was not super impressive. And he has more professional fights than Ajagba has total. So give these guys time. We don't want to push them too hard. Now, Efe Ajagba showed heart, grit, and, he got up off the canvas and he knocked Kiladze out, which is, a good sign. And he didn't look shook or unconfident or anything. He got up and he put the work on him. But, again, this is a reason we have prospects. This is why they're prospects. They're not ready to get into the ring with the top 15, top 10 fighters until they could get some things, established. Efe Ajagba holds his head too high. He needs to learn how to get off a center line. Efe Ajagba also reaches when he punches. You know, that's that. There is a lot of top level fighters that will make him pay for that. And the fact that he got dropped by a Kiladze, you know, shows that he doesn't have one of these stone granite chins. He can be put down. Yes, the guy has a lot of power. He's athletic, he's big, and he's strong, but he still has a lot to learn about the sweet science. Very good win for Efe Ajagba. But, you know, he was asked the question, do you think he could beat Deontay Wilder? And he was very humble about it. He said, no, I'm not ready for that. Which shows me a good sign, because he's not pig-headed. You know, he's not wanting to move himself too fast. He understands that this is a learning process and he has a lot to learn. You know, I'm a big fan of Teofimo Lopez, but Teofimo Lopez talked his way into a Lomachenko fight. Now, Teofimo Lopez may have a chance to beat Lomachenko, but if he goes in there and he gets beat up, Teofimo Lopez has 15 fights, 15 professional fights. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm biased. Efe Ajagba is a very likable dude, but when you look at Teofimo, he's talked his way right into what could potentially be an ass whooping, because he's a prospect. Well, I think he could be a prospect with a belt, but you can't call a champion a prospect. So he's no longer a prospect, but he doesn't have a lot of fights, guys. You know, 15 fights, and now he's getting ready to fight the best at 135. So if he goes in there and gets beat up, you know, this is just an example that you got to move these guys along and ease them up the level of competition. So shout out to Efe Ajagba. And like my man Bias says, he's a very likable guy. Very humble, and you know, he has a good trainer, Shields. I hope that Shields gets and works with him on that defense and that reaching, you know, planting his feet, transitioning that way, throwing those punches, get the technique up. And but he has a long time. He's a young guy. He's younger than Tank Davis, so you know, he has time to learn, fights to make. And I think that Efe Ajagba is, you know, one of the future heavyweights that we're going to be talking about. Him, Daniel Dubois, Philippe Pergovich, even Gorman, even though he took a loss. You know, a lot of these guys, Joe Joyce is not too young, but he's still in the prospective phase. But, you know, the future looks bright for the heavyweight division. And hopefully Efe Ajagba stays in the gym, keep learning, work on getting off a center line, maybe a little more lateral movement, stop that reaching, you know. Keep his hands up, you know, that type of stuff. Just the fundamentals, get more fundamentally sound for this sport. And I think he'll be very good. So, guys, I just wanted to do this quick live on Efe Ajagba. I got about 2 or 3 more coming, and then I'm going to do a weekend wrap up. So when you guys see the weekend wrap up, we could get in here and chop it up about everything that happened this weekend in the sport of boxing. And you know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.